The only thing waiting for you is hell. Glad to be your center of interest, but get closer to God. Whether you believe in his existence or not, he will help you see a good course of action and stop pouring your hatred on others for free.
Bro, what you on?
The anime community has a problem with leaks, and on the game side, it's getting worse. So much so that over this past year and a half, I think y'all must have lost your fucking minds. We had the Bandai ransomware situation that allowed people to try and push a new One Punch Man game and Fighter Super and try to give a little more credence to Xenoverse 3, except that's part of the actual Super logo that Red is from Xenoverse 2 Switch, and Bandai's reports have never named unannounced games or even looked like that. We had all these leaks about Storm 5's existence, only to find out we're actually getting an unholy mix of Generations and Revolution that devolved into the Unga Bunga Jigaboo nonsense one-button game that people already think arena fighters are. People took the word of some random French motherfucker saying Xenoverse 3 would be releasing in 2024 because another person you liked said it, just for New Tenkaichi to get announced out of nowhere and shut all that shit down. But the craziest leak by far was for the next Jump crossover game, Jump Stars Ultimax.
Nigga, what?
Let's set the stage. I've noticed two specific points about the timing of a new anime game. It usually happens either when the anime has a certain number of episodes greenlit, or when an anniversary that ends in 0 or 5 rolls around. And sometimes a company just really wants to make that game. In Weekly Shonen Jump's case, the last two games tied into the magazine's 45th and 50th anniversaries. So it makes sense for us to get a game for the 55th, right?
Not really.
After all, Jump Force was such a flop, remember?
Wrong.
Sometimes this community's beliefs and opinions directly contradict what actually happens. And because too many of y'all are committing to riding dick like your life depends on it, a lot of misinformation gets pushed. Jump Force being a flop is an example of that. I mean, yeah, the game was ugly as all hell, it was jank, and it got delisted. And yeah, the combination of Jump Force's jank and the lack of support for the light-skinned woman of arena fighters led y'all to go rabid and act like Jump Force's staff tied you up and made you watch them take turns with your parents, so of course you'd run with it if your YouTube daddy told you Jump Force flopped. But here's what actually happened. The Computer Entertainment Suppliers Association keeps track of physical game shipments. They also specifically mention when a game ships over 1 million copies. And according to them, Jump Force moved 5.12 million combined on both PS4 and Xbox One. And that's just physical. If Steam Spy is accurate, we can tack on at least another million from PC alone. And if we factor in digital sales on PS4 and Xbox One, as well as Switch in general, that'd put it in the ballpark of 6.5 million minimum, which makes it one of the highest-selling anime games of all time. So why'd it get delisted? Licensing issues. Same reason why the Hello Kitty Sakura and Goku Naruto fits were only available with Vanilla Storm 3, and the same reason why damn near every anime-related crossover you can think of, except Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax for some reason, has such a short lifespan. Hell, J-Stars Plus got delisted after like 3 years too. With Jump Force, I know that Bandai obviously had to coordinate with Shueisha, any mangaka that has their own company, and Spike Chunsoft, but the inclusion of Dragon Quest Dai and Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably complicated shit because now Square Enix and Konami are involved. Point is, licensing is an expensive mess, and that's why these crossovers don't last. And if it wasn't for Jump Force having an online lobby, Bandai probably wouldn't have made an announcement about the online getting downsized either. So how does this all tie into Jump Stars Ultimax? That leak that was flying around was obscenely expensive. Let's break it down. Look at all the brand new arena fighters. Not the sequels, not the acid flips like Brave Soldiers and Eyes of Heaven. Look at the brand new shit. Look at their rosters. The average size is around 25. For the bigger series, the average is around 45, so we're gonna focus on that. That Jump Stars Ultimax leak said there were gonna be 163 characters. If that alone doesn't sound like bullshit enough, let's take it further. Allegedly, this game would be a team effort from CyberConnect 2 and Spike Chunsoft. If I read things right, and I may not have since anime niggas and understanding what words mean go together like a Smash player and a grown woman, Spike would be doing the programming while CyberConnect 2 does everything else. And that right there is the problem. Hiroshi Matsuyama posted a blog a while back that broke down CyberConnect 2's general cost to build a character from scratch. One character takes about 14 months of work. 3 for modeling, 1 for textures, 4 for motion, 3 for their moves, and 3 more for their awakenings. This obviously can be done in 1 month, but it takes 14 people and 850,000 yen per person to do so. That means one character costs 11.9 million yen, or around $80,000 to make. This is purely the creation of the assets. Not audio, not programming, none of that. This is just to make one. And when we look at the roster, 75 characters would need to be made from scratch, and 10 more would need to be given most of, if not an entire moveset. So before we even get into tweaking the assets that presumably be pulled from CC2's other games, making the rest of the game as a whole, licensing, manufacturing, localization, marketing, platform certification costs, sound and voiceovers, or even making sure the 85 motherfuckers you made even function correctly, you've already spent 977.5 million yen, or over $6.5 million, on half the roster. Assuming you can even get this shit off the ground, because Matsuyama said that anything with a budget of more than 500 million yen has to be approved by Bandai's board of directors. So let's say this was approved. On paper, to break even on just the new character budget, you'd have to sell a little over 100,000 copies. Light work. Then factor in everything else that goes into making this game, and you're gonna have to sell even more than that. Also keep in mind all the shit that usually goes wrong with CyberConnect 2's games, because their two biggest projects both got delayed, and that Matsuyama also said a 1-week delay on a project lost him 25 million yen, and the game would have to sell even more.
But I'm not done yet!
And you can't forget that because this is a licensed product, Shueisha's taking a cut of all of this, and so is Bird Studio for Dragon Ball, and Lucky Land Communications for JoJo, and Kurumada Production for Saint Seiya, and Koa Mix for Fist of the North Star and City Hunter. And if they're licensing the anime and not the manga, that throws even more companies in the mix.
Say the line!
So you have to sell even more.
Yeah!
With all of that in mind, do you think they'd make their money back in the 3 or 4 years before the same licensing issues that killed J-Stars and Jump Force yanked this shit too? Because what it sounds like is the fees to use 26 series, along with whatever complications may come from handing this project to 2 developers who fucked up every single anime game they've been on over the last 10 years, will financially screw this game right out the gate. 2023 is the 55th anniversary of Weekly Shonen Jump. We are most likely getting a game for this anniversary within the next maybe 1 or 2 years. Jump Stars Ultimax is not that game.
Niggas be lying, saying they try hit the block like a jockey to work a finesse. Pull up and smoke on your set. Good gal, get that double your set. Fuck bitches, I die for respect. Big guns, I ain't shooting the tech. Wrong move, then I shoot at his neck.